And welcome back. Been a few weeks since we did our last solar update video, and in that video we talked about, due to the help of 3 YouTubers in particular, decided to take the plunge and order our cells from China. And as you can see across our workbench here, we have 18 boxes, the final 4 boxes which arrived today. And there are 2 cells per box, giving us a total of 36 of the 280 amp hour cells. Now, 4 of these boxes were a little bit lost in transit. It was no fault of the supplier at all. FedEx misplaced them, but have no fear. As you can see, they did track down the final 4 boxes and get them routed to us, and those arrived today. So again, what we're looking at is 36 280 amp hour cells. And we did purchase these off the Alibaba website. Now I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the supplier we got them from. Perhaps you can kind of see that on the page there. But there'll also be links in the description that'll lead you to the exact vendor and then the page that I purchased these particular cells from. So what we were looking at is that we placed the order originally on February 9th and received the final grouping of boxes on April 12th, also of this year. So if I'm looking at that correctly, that was about 8 weeks and 6 days. Now, 2 things happened in there, which were no fault of the manufacturer at all. We had the 4 boxes that got misplaced by FedEx. Took an extra few days to get those in, as well as there was a Chinese New Year when these originally were ordered. So that put a little bit of a delay in shipping. Again, no fault of the manufacturer at all. Again, for these to get here in the 8-week time frame that they did is still phenomenal. The total cost for these cells, with the shipping and all fees included, came to $3,820. That gave us a per cell cost of $106.11. With these cells being 280 amp hours at 36 cells, gives us about 32.2 kilowatt hours. That brings our cost per kilowatt hour to be $118.63. I'm not going to hold you in suspense and make you wait for another video to go through the unboxing of these. We do have one that I went ahead and opened up. And just to make a comment on these boxes, you can see they're quite well taped, top and bottom. The boxes themselves have these 4 protective corners that are made out of plastic. Again, obviously be there to help from corner impacts, things of that nature. You kind of see here that I had to it actually takes a fair amount to cut all the tape off of this box to get into them. But what you have here is the top layer of foam. Nice thick piece of foam. We've got our first cell here. Let's get it out of its resting place. I have had these cells out earlier. We got our second piece of foam. Obviously the battery is sitting in this one. We've got our companion cell for this box below that one. And I did, again, like I said earlier, have one of these boxes just to kind of give it a look-see. And so far these cells look gorgeous. I see no bulging of the cells at all, or at least these 2. The terminals on top look pristine. I don't see any excess scratches. There's a couple of marks on them where you can tell that they've been tested from the factory, but the threads, the vent caps in the center, everything looks okay. I'll see if I can get a reasonably close to that QR code. I'll scan that QR code in the next video and see what information we can glean off of it. Now, the major difference is that a lot of other videos have cells that are specifically marked Eve or Lycian. And you can see these are a little bit more generic in nature. They show the normal voltage and capacity and the fact that they're made in China, but they don't have the typical big sticker in the corner that would also say what the internal resistance was. Now, the company I bought these from, they do also sell the Eve and Lycian cells and separate listings, but I'm going to go with an assumption here that since these cells are sold by the same, all sold by the manufacturer, I'm going to be willing to bet that these are more than likely all made within the same factory, whether it's Eve, Lycian, or a little bit more generic that you see here. But our capacity testing will tell us that. Now, I would like to point out 3 individuals whose YouTube channels I do follow that actually helped me make the plunge into getting these cells. The first and foremost is the Off-Grid Garage. He is down in Australia. Been watching his videos since his first initial purchases of these type of 280 amp hour cells. Not these exactly, but I did use the link that he had out there for the manufacturer, and again ordered these from the same spot. He has a wonderful set of videos, goes into great detail in everything that he does, and it's just a wealth of information on his story and his progression of getting these cells in, testing them, using them, so on and so forth. And he has some nice pet frogs down there as well. Second individual I'd like to put on there is, I'm going to say his channel name is Average Joe or Average Joe or something along that nature. I do apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. Again, I've been watching his channel ever since he's dealt with the 18650s and taken apart the modem packs and laptop packs and doing his own Powerwall. And he's recently also got in his 280 amp hour cells and is making the conversion to the lithium iron phosphate as well. Again, wealth of information, and his cat Horace likes to visit him in his video, as I'm sure you will see many cats on my channel as these videos progress. Third individual I'd like to point out is channel name is Lithium Solar. Also started out with the 18650s, wealth of information, battery and BMSs, just like Average Joe, also has battery and BMS videos. And he also, Lithium Solar, has also gotten in a good size shipment of these 280 amp hour cells. He also has capacity testing videos up there as well. And I believe that Average Joe is working on his capacity videos, and Off-Grid Garage has capacity videos out there already as well. Lithium Solar has also gone through and kind of shown what he would like to do as far as compressing these cells, which is something that we will also look into doing. Again, wealth of information. Check out these 3 guys' channels. They got plenty of videos, plenty of time to binge watch. And again, after watching the progression of these 3 and learning, what they're doing and what they're not doing and kind of pitfalls, helped me take the plunge and go ahead and order these cells in. As we spoke about before, because we're trying to run as much in the house as we can off solar during the day and then off batteries in the evening and recover. As we're getting into the warmer months, we got a whole house air conditioner plus a mini split, as you all well know, here in the garage. And that's going to, require a lot of solar panels, which we'll get into the solar panel expansion that we have planned when we start doing that install. But it also means that we need capacity in the evening hours. And just purchasing the 100 amp hour, 145 amp hour, or even 180 amp hour cells just isn't cutting it anymore. We need small form factor batteries such as this, but high capacity such as this, so that we can upgrade our battery bank and give us the room that we need to run a portion of the house in the evening hours, and then be able to recover that and recharge the batteries and run the house off the panels during the day. And this gets us a step in that direction. But again, I'd like to do a shout out to those 3 individuals again because of their information and the pain points that they've gone through, the highs and lows, as well as the information they put out, convinced me to take the plunge and order these bad boys from China. Because again, needing these cells, and you can get them in the States, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of places to acquire them from, but the cost is just, to me, it was cost prohibitive to try to order these locally and get them shipped in versus if you've got time to play with and you've got some patience, then you can, order these from China and just wait for them to arrive, and cost-wise, it comes out much better in the long run. But again, just to wrap that up, the total cost for 36 cells for me was $3,820. That gave us a per cell cost of $106.11. We're looking at about 32.2 kilowatt hours for all 36 cells. So that gave us a per kilowatt cost of $118.63. And again, I'll have links in the description to the vendor we bought them from, the Alibaba website, the posting to the actual ad itself where these can be ordered from, as well as the 3 individuals that I mentioned earlier. Don't worry, we'll bring you back once we get the rest of our testing gear on order that is yet to arrive. We'll get some capacity testing of these done. We'll get a 12-volt pack created with 4 of these cells. We'll get hooked up to an inverter, and then we'll do some capacity testing using a 12-volt pack. Once we get everything out and we progress to that point, future videos will include us getting both strings of 16 charged, top balanced. I'm looking at going at the same compression type setup that Lithium Solar shows in his videos, and then we'll kind of document this, and we'll show all this along the way. But thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later.